Good afternoon, White Wings fans. Welcome to another edition of Wings Weekly. I'm Kevin, that's the coach. Game 3 is tonight of the United League Championship Series, and the White Wings coach are 1 win away from claiming their first championship since the 2000 season.
They have Fort Worth on their heels.
That they do. Game 1 and Game 2 up at LaGrave Field were anything short of improbable, Coach. Game 1 was probably the best game the White Wings played, bar none, the entire season. It took extra innings, but the White Wings got the job done.
And it was all because of the pitching.
Yeah, the pitching was phenomenal. Celson Polanco was your Game 1 starter. He went 9 innings. And let's not forget about Jeremy Gooding for Fort Worth. That game, I was talking to some of the guys in the bullpen around the 7th, 8th inning. It was in the balance. It was one of those games where it's on the fence. Either team could have had that one hit to separate themselves from the other, but fortunately it was the White Wings who came up with that big hit. And that big hit being in the 11th inning, John Harris's 3-run home run to slingshot the Wings ahead in a 5-2 win in Game 1.
Yeah, it was the Wings battery, basically. I mean, let's face it, the pitching staff came through for him big time that game, and then Harris with the big home run.
And like I said, improbable Game 1 victory for the White Wings. I don't know who was more stunned, whether it was Barrett Weaver of the Fort Worth Cats or was it the Fort Worth fans, because they were up and giddy, they were loud, they were getting into it, and it's like you just pop a bubble and everything's gone, and that's kind of what happened that night at LaGrave Field. Stunned and shocked were the fans.
Just took all the air out of them.
Definitely. And then we talk about the bullpen, which had been a big key throughout the regular season. They have stepped up huge in this postseason.
And that's what we had depended on.
Yeah. And then we go to Game 2, which I told you it's a prototypical White Wings win. Down 2-0 early. The White Wings have a 3-run 6th inning. And then the Fort Worth Cats come back and tie at 3-3, and then Jason Mercado, or rather Levy Ventura's go-ahead RBI double, put the Wings ahead 4-3 in Game 2.
Yeah, Jason tied it with his.
Yeah, so again, timely hitting, solid pitching in the bullpen. Everything we've said all year just came up to play here in Game 1 and 2.
And tonight we throw Dumax at him.
Dumax Garcia is your Game 3 starter going up against Eddie Medina of the Fort Worth Cats. We talked about the veteran presence in the clubhouse, from Jacob Fabry to the pitching staff being Celson Polanco and Dumax Garcia. And Al Gallagher said, you want a veteran presence in the clubhouse, and that being Garcia and Polanco.
Yes, and Polanco already did the first one step for us. Now it's up to Garcia. Yeah,
and Garcia has really come into his own. He had that shaky first start, 9 walks in his White Wings debut, but he settled down, and he's been doing phenomenal, and that's just another piece to that starting rotation.
Well, we had heard that he hadn't pitched in a couple years, and so he needed to get back out there and get back into the swing of his prototypical.
Yeah, and that's what he's done. Now, tomorrow potentially, if it happens, it would be Brad Orsi tomorrow, and then Celson Polanco if need be in Game 5. But the White Wings are looking for that series sweep tonight. And again, for the first time since the 2000 season, the White Wings are looking to bring a championship back to Harlingen Field.
Ladies and gentlemen, we want a broom.
Yeah, it's broom night apparently here at Harlingen Field. So you bring out your brooms for a potential sweep. The White Wings are ready. As for the Fort Worth Cats, it's going to be tough. You're down 2-0. You're coming to a place in Harlingen Field where they know it's been a struggle for them to win all year. It's now their backs are against the wall, and the White Wings have the foot on the gas pedal because, again, the Cats had been playing the White Wings good towards the tail end of the season. We'd seen that here. We'd seen that up at LaGrave. The Cats started building confidence, and then all of a sudden the postseason comes, and it's just a brand new White Wings team.
And they don't like to play here anyway. So on top of it, it's just doubly bad for them.
Definitely. So one is the trip down. It's about a 9-hour drive. That takes a lot out of you. Then you're down 2-0, and you're facing elimination. Patterson said, I told you earlier, Games 1 and Game 3, in his own opinion, are the most important ones. We got Game 1 out of the way, and you and I said before we left, if we can just take 1 of 2 at LaGrave, we would be in good condition. And then I said, heck, if we can take both games, then, more power to us.
Yeah, and they swept up there. So I really think the guys are going to come in today with so much adrenaline that's going to take them a couple innings to come down a little bit to playing night.
Yeah, and then the Fort Worth Cats, I'd expect them to come out swinging for the fences.
They're going to be angry.
Yeah, and then I mentioned when we were at LaGrave, Last season, the Fort Worth Cats were in the same position. They lost in Game 5 to the Edinburgh Roadrunners. And Tim Edwards, the broadcaster, said it's been some kind of curse lately. He said Fort Worth has done good in the regular season, and they just had some playoff woes the past couple of years. So Fort Worth has been in this spot before, so I would not doubt them. And it's not over until they say it's over. But I would really like the White Wings' chances in this one.
Oh, I do too. I am really looking forward to a good game tonight.
So what are you looking for in Dumax tonight, and in the offense, who had been struggling as of late, but those timely hitting and that clutch gene that the White Wings offense possesses? What are you looking for in them tonight?
I'm looking for Dumax to go 9. I really think he's going to go 9, unless they have a slight lead. And then Patterson will go to his traditional Peacock Minnick to finish off the game. And as far as offense, I don't know. I got a feeling Levy's going to have a big night.
And Levy was a big reason why the White Wings won in Game 2. His bat came to life. Him and Korbetsky are 3-4 guys who are combined 0 for 10 with 6 strikeouts in Game 1. So they didn't have the best nights as players, but then Game 2, they just flip that switch and they forget all about Game 1, and they go out there and do work. Korbetsky had that game-tying RBI single with 2 runs, then Ventura had those 2 doubles. And R.J. Perucci, offensively, Perucci has done really good as well. I think he's been kind of the forgotten man over at third base.
Sure he has, and he's a decent fielder over there too. Just makes it even better.
He has 3 hits in this series, and all of them have been in the middle innings when it means the most.
Yeah, and he's just a good ball player out there. He was a real good pickup.
So be sure to tune in to myself and the coach with a 7:05 first pitch here at Harlingen Field. It's Game 3 of the Best of 5 series, as the White Wings are looking for the series sweep and to claim their 2014 championship. Patterson is looking for his championship ring. He won in the Texas Winter League, and he won in 2011 in the Pecos League. So Patterson's been here. He's done that before. Polanco's been a part of a championship team. And again, it's just that veteran presence in the White Wings clubhouse that really gives us kind of a good feeling inside, knowing that everything's going to be okay with the leadership they have in there.
Everything is lining up to should be a Wings win tonight.
Okay, be sure to check us out on the social media sites at Valley White Wing on Twitter. You can like us on Facebook at Rio Grande Valley White Wings, and check us out on the Instagram page as well at RGV White Wings. So be sure to tune in to myself and the coach. We're going to have a 6:45 early start time for Game 3 of the Championship Series, then with the first pitch at 7:05, and then for the Come Home to Harlingen post-game show, well, let's hope for...
Go Wings.
Let's hope for a victory. So, be sure to tune in at 6:45 for the Come Home to Harlingen pregame show presented by the Harlingen EDC. First pitch scheduled for 7:05, and then with the Come Home to Harlingen postgame show. I'm Kevin, that's the coach, and go Wings!